Well, we have done it. We're at 500 billion power in the game, and I don't know if I'm the one that still does this and nobody else does, but for me, I've always kind of had those benchmarks of like, oh, I got to 1 billion, I got to 10 billion, I got to 100 billion, and now 500 billion on it. I know a lot of people are a little upset that when we did have that whole CP increase, they missed some of those opportunities because it was a pretty big jump in a lot of people's CP. So don't know if people are still doing it. I'm still doing it when I hit these things. So this was a woohoo moment for me to just go and brag and show things off. Now, how did I get this here? Let's kind of go through, show you some of the new things I got, what I changed, and what kind of helped me get to this point. Because I think before this, I was at like 460 or 470. Wasn't far away, but this definitely kind of helped out a little bit. But the first thing I did, I said, you know what? I am sitting on so many of these S grades. They're just sitting here. Now I'm using swap talismans. I started burning up some of the ones for my armor on it because I had a whole bunch of revival capes I'm not even using anymore. Not to mention the Dragon Breath armor. Those were just sitting there too. So I kind of fused a couple of them together, took my armor up to +3. That was a little bit of a help. So woohoo me once again. Now, one of the other things I did was I went through and started refining some of my gems that I have. Now, nothing crazy. I mean, I think it was only actually like 6 of these things to go and refine one of the immortal ones on it. So nothing too crazy at all. I had like 100 and something of these, but I kind of started going through and taking some of these ones that I had down the bottoms that were pretty much duplicates of what I had already, and just kind of went through and put these things to use for bettering my build. Now, as far as what I got out of it, I don't think there was anything extremely crazy, but I mean, there was a couple of nice things. I didn't want to get rid of that global attack. Actually, throwing an immortal on top of that was actually dropping my CP on me, but I did get a lightning damage plus 35%, a weapon crit plus 8%, and I think I maybe got one of them down here on it. Yeah, speed plus 20. That was kind of a big one for me right there. So hoping that really helps me inside the PvP. And if you haven't noticed already, I'm rocking the God of War outfit. I finally cashed in some of my radar there inside the whole martial arts tournament. The fact that now I have the 5 pieces I want for my SS gear for using this year. Gonna keep that last one, a Judgment Ring there, but the reason I finally picked up this was I was at like 498, and I said, you know what? Let me just get this thing. I've been kind of holding back on getting it, grabbed it, unlocked it, got the 1% attack for having the outfit, which still hate the idea of having to go and unlock every single outfit to get buffs in the game, but that was one of the things that took me there. Now, I am kind of still waiting for more of those divine cubes, but I did actually have 2 of them that were allowing me to just kind of put them inside those psionics. Now, my psionics do suck on this, but just kind of having these things actually in there, you can see we have some fire damage plus 14.52%. I could have re-rolled that, but I went over to the other one here, and that's where we're using basic attack damage reduction. It is an E, but it's basic attack damage reduction, so I'm happy with that. The other thing I did was I cashed in on some of that full moon event, so one of the things I was able to do, I took the Sphinx up to +8. I did have a bunch of the actual mount chests there from the last event, so I kind of threw them on some of these blues and greens. Nothing crazy, but just a little bit in there that kind of helped. I did go and throw an extra star on Laputa here. We had that at 2 stars before, so once again, a little bit of a help. And then as far as the artifacts, I was sitting on one of my Spear of Thor chests, but I need to get 2 of them, so I used the air one on that, and now we have that at +7. So as far as that, anything really too crazy on this? My artifacts absolutely suck. These things are a pain in the butt to level up. So I said, you know what, let's just throw this on there. We are at least using that in the deploy tab, so that's going to benefit for it. And then one of the other things I did was just kind of like a last minute decision was I went and bought one of those chests inside there to pick one of these brands, and that's where I finally took this Joker up to +2 to get the bonuses on that. I did do exactly like I said I was going to do. I unlocked the new collectible there, and I did cash in some of the other ones to grab that mystic die, so I finally have all these things unlocked here, which for whatever reason makes me feel better that I have it. I hate seeing things that aren't unlocked, but I guess if I went over and looked at the other one here, it's like, oh, you don't got all those, nice job, Pick, but that's going to take a little bit longer to get there. Oh, and I did spend about 6,000 gems to go and take Elsa up to 5 stars too, so it was a lot of little things, like a little 1% here and there, but I'm finally glad to be at this point. However, I'm still weak as crap compared to these 3.5 trillions out there, but I'm still proud of this, so woohoo me once again. But I guess, are you guys still doing this? Do you still get excited when you hit those like certain milestones? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want to know why you should still be hanging on to a couple of these flowers inside this whole full moon event here, you might want to take a look at this video right here. Thanks for watching, and remember, I pick my butt.